What up, everybody? I want to talk to you about gauges and cheaping out on them, and don't do it. I have had a migraine for 2 weeks trying to figure out where the bad ground in my car is and why none of my gauges work. They're all wired separately, so they should not be having the same issue. This is my oil pressure gauge. I tried several different senders, several different wires, and come to find out that, like an idiot, um, I must have lost this. I don't know why it won't focus, but I lost this three prong clip. Let's see here. And it comes with all of these. One is for a button that sticks out of your dashboard so you don't have to reach your hand behind your dashboard to change the colors and stuff. This one here, this four prong, is all power and lights for the gauge. It has nothing to do with the sender in the back for your oil pressure. This one up here, this three prong one, or it might be the four prong one, I forget because I butchered this stupid ass gauge and had to order a new one. It's completely my fault. One of these two harnesses that they send you with it up here on this bezel oil pressure gauge, which lights up really cool. It's just, I bet when it works a treat. But currently, I have butchered this one. Also, the other thing you need to know on a lot of these gauges, if you are going to try and cheap out on them, which I don't recommend, um, their color schematics for power and ground are not the same as ours. Green is ground in other countries, and black is power. And you're going to get, if you cheap out on gauges, you're going to get a lot of green and black and yellow wires, and not a lot of red and black wires. So be careful. Just remember, if it's a foreign gauge, green is ground. So I ordered another one of these because I'm not smart enough to wire up a three-prong doodle, and they're only about $25. And at some point, I'll find the connector for this, and I'll be able to use it in one of my other Volkswagens. But for now, I just ordered a whole brand new unit because I figured out what the issue was, and it's that, like an idiot, I was wiring up black and red and white. So red and white were going to be my power and my light for 12 volt and ignition. Black was going to be my ground. I assumed the yellow one coming out of the fourth prong was going to be signal. It is not. It actually goes to like your dimmer switch or something. And then one of these harnesses here is the actual one that would run to, in my case, the back of the car, but probably the front of the car for you. And you're going to hook it directly to your oil pressure sender switch, and it should work directly. And when this thing lights up, it does all. I highly recommend, assuming that this gauge works once I get it all hooked up, I highly recommend it. It is nice and bright. It's got a ton of different modes, and I can't seem to find any other gauges made by this company. Otherwise, I would have just went with all of these. I believe it's Bezel. I don't know. They got real funky with that lightning mark there in the middle, but yeah, anyway, that was the problem with this. Remember, green is ground in other countries and power is black, and you will need both of these harnesses if you're going to use this oil pressure gauge. The lower harness is going to be for the power and all the lights and stuff on the gauge. This harness back here is actually going to be for your sending unit from the switch in the back or the front, depending on whatever your car is. I hope that helps you guys out. Like I said, I recommend this gauge. Just once it's lit up and everything, it's pretty cool. I think on some of my more recent videos, you can actually see it lit up but not functioning because I hadn't figured it out then. But all right, man. I hope that helps I hope it helps some of you out, and that way you don't have the same problem I did. And stay tuned for fully functioning digital dashboard here shortly. I've got my voltmeter, and I've got my GPS speedometer, and I've got my digital gas gauge, and over here will eventually be my oil pressure and my new non-Dragon gauge. Do not, you can watch my other video, but do not order from Dragon gauges. They are hot dumpster fire garbage. It will not work. It's going to give you a headache. You're going to think you have a bad ground. You don't. The numbers just jump around. It's just a shit fucking gauge. Take it and throw it up against the wall. It's garbage. All right, guys. Like I said, I hope that helps you out. And green is ground and black is power in, I don't know, whatever other country. Later, taters.